you will not be the same. Here I am in front of you all, holding my mom's unopened suicide note, 5 years and 9 months after she has died. Although I have an idea of what it says, I still haven't found it in me to open the envelope and look at her handwriting, knowing that those words were her last. It's experiences like this that are a normal part of my life now. See, the truth is that these kind of things are the things that people don't talk about. Elizabeth Kubler-Ross labeled the 5 stages of grief as denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. From my experience, suicide loss is in a league of its own, and only the ones that are left to pick up the pieces can truly understand. I want to share some of my personal experience with the grief process. It's shaking my head no in disbelief when I got the call that she had died. It's standing outside the door, knowing that my mom lay dead inside and choosing not to go in to see her one last time. It's being in a fog, feeling like things aren't real for a year. That is the denial phase. It's being so angry at her for going out the way that she did, I would scream. That's the anger phase. It's keeping the shirt I bought her for her birthday, which was the day after she died, for 5 years. I think I may have thought she would magically come back and be able to wear it. That's the bargaining. It's explaining to my 2 beautiful daughters the bitter cold truth of how their grandma died. It's crying for hours and hours, fearing that somehow my mom's way of death was contagious and I would somehow go out like she did. That's the depression. It was scary and petrifying in the beginning. It's looking at people, wondering who they are and why they have changed, but then it's looking in the mirror and realizing it was me that changed. People are different towards you, not because they don't care, but because what you just experienced is nothing like they are equipped to deal with. All these things are normal after losing someone you love to suicide. What life used to be does not exist. You must also grieve the old you. My message to you is to have compassion for yourself during this process, no matter where you are at in it. You are not going to be perfect. You will be a mess, especially in the beginning. Trust me when I say it will get better. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next week, but it will get better. If someone had told me that when my mom first died, I would have thought they wouldn't have known what the hell they were talking about. I do get that. I have compassion for where you were at and honor that. The key that I found to my healing was to seek meaning, which for me was at the time was like seeing a pinhole of bright light in a deep, dark tunnel. That would be the acceptance phase. This does not happen overnight, but it will happen when and if you are ready. My mom's death opened me up to my purpose, and that has been my driving force. I had tremendous anxiety before she died. The idea of me getting up and giving a speech to this many people about this kind of subject would have given me a panic attack thinking about it. I struggled my whole life with feelings of unworthiness and fear. I used to dream of some of the things that I've accomplished the last 5 years. I went back to school after my mom died. I got my bachelor's degree in psychology, and I will graduate with my master's degree here in May so that I can be a therapist to help other people like my mom. I've traveled with my daughters out of the country alone. I've traveled with them in other places. I've even jumped out of a plane. Through this process, I have learned what is inside of me, and I have faced many fears. The things I thought weren't possible now are a reality. I will say the largest part of my healing is giving back and helping others. The process of grief is so unique to every individual. You will most likely feel isolated and alone. You may want to dull your feelings with drugs and alcohol. Whatever path you are on, know that you are not alone. The struggle is intense and very real. This is why days like today are special and cathartic, because the people around you understand what you're going through. Those brief moments of peace that you find will come, I promise. Go where your heart leads you. If you find peace being in your garden, lighting a candle, or listening to your loved one's favorite songs, then do it. The moments may be fleeting at first. Whatever you feel is normal and unique to you and your experience. If you can, find meaning in whatever brings you peace. If you can't find it in you to even care about anything right now, at least give yourself compassion for getting up and getting through another day. Please know that there are people that care about you and are here to help. Honor where you are at and know that there is no right or wrong way to grieve. In my brief account of my experience, I went over the 5 phases of grief: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. From my experience, they are never in order and sometimes can happen all at once. The trauma you have gone through has changed your soul forever. For me, it shook me to my core, which forced me to wake up to living, truly, deeply living. So as I stand here holding my mom's note, her goodbye note, I no longer feel the need to open it. I believe the message that she left is inside of me. Thank you.